When you do test-driven development, it's okay to fake it. It's okay to write wrong code as long as the code passes all the tests you have so far. You can still set it right later. But when do you stop to fake? When do you start to write real code? The specific generic rule will help you decide. You are now watching part 7 of an 8-part series about the steps red and green in test-driven development. And during the green step, you must take care not to write too much code. It's often better to just fake it and leave the real implementation for later. But how long can you postpone the real implementation? Today I want to talk about the specific generic rule that will help you decide in exactly this situation. It will help you decide how much and how long you can fake the code and when you must start with the real implementation when you do test-driven development. My name is David and I teach test-driven development and agile engineering practices. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends and followers. Okay, so like in the last 6 videos, I'm implementing a simple hangman game as an example. And I'm writing tests for how the game should display placeholders for the word to guess. My first test is that the game should display a single underscore as a placeholder when the word to guess is A. And the implementation returns a single underscore as a literal string for now. My second test is it returns 2 underscores when the word to guess is to. And I can still fake it. I can just add an if and return 2 underscores or a single one. And then I'll write my third test. It should return 5 underscores when the word to guess is hello. So what should I do now? Should I add another if? Or should I now convert the code to a loop which would bring me closer to the real implementation? I'm using the specific generic rule to decide here. It says, as the tests get more specific, the production code should become more generic. So after every red-green refactor cycle, my production code should be more generic than before. And the if I added after the second test was more generic than the literal string I had after the first test. But now, after the third test, another if wouldn't do it anymore. It would not be more generic than the if I had after the second test. And also a switch would not be enough in this case. A switch would also not be more generic than 2 ifs. But a loop would work. It is more generic than the if I had before, and it brings me closer to the real implementation, and the real implementation is my goal I want to reach here. Or should I try it with a regular expression? Well, it would be more generic, but it also would be a big step. So even though a regular expression might be more elegant in this case, I probably want to leave it for a refactoring step later or consider it later. So whenever you ask yourself, how long can I fake it? When should I start with the real implementation? Use the specific generic rule to guide you. It says, as the tests get more specific, the production code should become more generic. And focus on pinning down the implementation by adding more and more specific tests in every red phase and making the production code more and more generic during the green and refactor phases. Did you know the specific generic rule? And are you using it? Or if not, how do you decide when you want to stop to fake it and when to start writing real code? Please tell me in the comments of this video or on Twitter, where I'm DTanswer. And by the way, if you liked this video, please share it with your friends and followers. That would be awesome.